Dinesh, before we let you go, one final thought. So the day, that fateful day in Butler, and Trump turns his head to point to the full screen up there, and a bullet that would likely have taken part of his head off, hits his ear, grazes his ear. At that moment, listen, let's not talk about, I'm not sure where I am with my faith. I've had a lot of tragedy and trauma that made me, I was an altar boy growing up. I was this for my whole life. I had trauma that made me question it. I will tell you, when he turned it just so slightly and it just missed, it felt to me like there was a divine intervention there, that man isn't good. The world could have easily have him not turn his head that way, and it wouldn't be a question anymore. It would be a Kamala Harris or Biden presidency. But because of that, I just have a universal feeling that it's his turn. What are your thoughts on something like that?
I mean, I agree, not only because of that. Yes, the interesting thing isn't just, that he turned his head and it missed the bullet. It's that had he turned his head at any other angle, the bullet would have gotten him. He happened to turn his head in precisely the right way. The probability of that is infinitesimal, is extremely tiny. The other thing is, I think, Trump showed an unrehearsed reaction to that was so unusual, so sublimely brave. I cannot think of anyone else alive who would have responded in the way that Trump did. So in a way, Trump flipped the script on its head. In other words, he used the incident unwittingly just to show what he's made of. And people talk a lot about Trump's vices. He used to be a playboy, he's an egomaniac. But at a time when we need political courage as our primary virtue, it's quite clear this guy has it in spades.
That is a very, very good point. And when, most people, when confronted with an existential threat, you have fight or flight, right? And flight would be him staying down, him being covered by Secret Service. The man was pushing the Secret Service off to jump up, and he was pissed. Dinesh, he was mad. And that is something that you can't teach. You can't train him. You can't put him in a briefing room, and you can't rehearse it. It was a natural reaction. You're pointing out something very, very relevant, that whatever it is, like him or not, he's got the fight, and he would likely fight for the country the way he was just fighting to become the next president again.
Not to mention his reaction to the second assassination attempt. I mean, going back to Butler, Pennsylvania, I mean, that alone is a kind of a massive up yours to every would-be assassin. It's like, hey, I'm back. And then his first line is, as I was saying. I mean, that is just a brilliant opening line. And it shows Trump's exquisite sense of timing. So all of this can't be going unnoticed by the American people. And then when you consider the alternative, it's not exactly a hard choice.
There you go. Dinesh, the movie, Vindicating Trump, you can see it everywhere streaming. It's in or out of movie theaters. Dinesh, always good having you out. We'll get you back again real soon. Have a great weekend, my friend.
Thank you. You too.